Well, SCM General Conference is the largest gathering of the student Christian movement every year.
It's going to be exciting.
And so people come from every region of Canada.
We're in Vancouver this year, which I think is probably a first for SCM Canada, at least in a really, really long time.
We've also are going to be staying at Jericho Beach, Vancouver.
And we're talking about issues of homelessness, economic justice, and poverty.
Helping make decisions for the movement, doing workshops and trainings that we can take back to our communities.
And while we're there, we're going to have a great resource person who's one of the many great resource people that we're having. His name is the Reverend Brian Heinrich.
He's a kind of punk priest who works in the inner city, Vancouver, in one of the most impoverished neighborhoods in North America.
What does it mean to be Aboriginal and to think about home as like, you know, for example, our home and native land, what does that mean? And how do we unpack statements like that?
Home to you. Winding home to you. Winding home to you.
Here today
to demand action on poverty, on homelessness, to stand in support of Indigenous rights.
There's crazy amounts of poverty in the city, homelessness. There's a lot of people that need help, and the government is not putting them as a priority. They're putting the games as a priority, which only benefits the rich that can actually afford to come see them.
I had a friend, his name was Daryl McCasco. He was a personal friend of mine, and he was turned away from the shelter that evening, that freezing winter night, trying to stay warm with the kerosene lantern. He burned to death. There are decisions that have been made in terms of how money is allocated in this province. And my friend died because of those decisions. And I stand before you today to say that that is not right. And I am very opposed to that. That people have a right to shelter. My friend Daryl had a right to shelter. That is a priority before a party for me personally.
A major part of spirituality is standing in solidarity with those that are suffering or are oppressed. And I think it's important as a Christian or as someone of any faith to stand in solidarity with those that need help.
Thank you. What does home mean? How do we understand home? What does home mean for people in the inner city, for people in rural areas, for migrants and refugees?
There's about 30 to 35 students who come all the way from Halifax and Newfoundland and parts of the US who are going to be gathering in Vancouver for this conference.
How does the question of homelessness and home fit into the larger question of economic justice? How do we build an economic justice movement in Canada?
It's May the 2nd to the 9th. If you feel like you really want to come and you can't afford it, please check out our site because we have bursaries available for people. We can subsidize your travel and subsidize your time there. We just really want to encourage people to sign up and register for the conference. No matter what your economic situation is, we want you there.
If you've never been to a student Christian movement event before, you are totally welcome. It's basically a week of fellowship, speakers, music, workshops. We have anti-oppression trainings, we have direct action trainings, we have organizing trainings, and just a great chance to meet people who you can relate to.
This is a student-led conference, and we want to empower students to bring forth their ideas, their discussions, their thoughts, their questions, and really lead this conference and show us what direction you want to go.
Home to you.